Can you keep a secret? We got a special episode today here, part of the Pulltab Sports family of podcasts. And Tom, how's your day going?
It's going great. Yours?
Well, I came in hot to the podcast today.
You did?
And I would be curious your thoughts on people that sit in the left lane and just cruise at the speed limit in the left lane.
Full on anger. That's why I thought about getting one of those, I have a truck, but put one of those things in front where you could just ram them and just send them right into the stone wall.
Like a wedge.
But then I common sense prevails and I just slow down and try to get around them.
When you go around them, do you look and see?
Yes.
Who and what they were?
Give them a look. And 90% of the time now when you do that, they're on their phone.
Yep.
Which makes me even more angry.
Okay. Correct on two fronts.
Looking at their phone, I should say, not on their phone.
So the vehicle that was in front of me on the way down here, Wisconsin plates.
Well, then I wouldn't have done anything.
I almost took a picture of it while I was driving and tailgating the person, but that didn't seem like a good idea. No. So, so you also believe the left lane is for people ready to go fast. Or fast or pass.
Yeah. And then get over. And if someone's on you, you get over.
Okay.
Even if you have to cut somebody off.
I have another topic.
Okay. What is it? It's a great start, by the way.
When you type in the place you're going into the maps and it tells you how long it's going to take to get there, do you find that instantly starts a race against the clock? And if it says 17 minutes, I'm like, yeah, we'll see about that. 13 minutes.
Not really, but I know where you're going with this because you always seem to be a couple minutes off.
It's like
you still don't realize the distance between your house and our office in Stillwater. That for some reason throws you off.
I don't.
Yeah. So
I think I missed my time of birth by 17 minutes.
That's okay. But no. I mean, I don't really. I really don't look at stuff like that. If it says 13 minutes, probably 13 minutes.
So you're just like, I'm on the whatever robot set these times. I'm going to drive the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I speed. I drive fast.
Third topic.
Okay. Because God, I hope it's better than the first two.
This is riveting. So I'm an adult now, empty nester.
Really?
And
what does that mean?
Well, what it means is my relationship with fast food is changing.
What?
Okay.
I thought you were going to say something about your wife.
No. So I had to get to the meeting in St. Paul at 1. And I hit, when you're a kid and you do fast food, you basically try to eat all of it. You get 3 burgers and, you're on a field trip or whatever to McDonald's.
Right.
So I went in as a grown man drive-through.
You're a grown man. We've established that.
And I ordered a original chicken sandwich from Burger King. And then a medium, I actually had them. I said, can I get half fries and half onion rings?
Really?
And they did that. Because when we were growing up, remember, it was, we do it your way.
Yeah.
So there's still some of that legacy in there that if that's what you want, they'll do it.
Okay.
And it was just delicious.
Right.
I think fast food's great.
Oh my God, it's the best. But here's the best part. So
not even drunk though. I'm saying it's lunch. Instead of going to Kowalski's and getting normal adult food.
Yeah.
Let's just go to Burger King and get original chicken sandwich and some fries.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So when I go to McDonald's, I get the same exact thing every time. Filet of fish, quarter pounder with cheese, large fry. And I'm so excited when I'm eating it. And then when I get
turf.
Exactly. Then when I get done, I want to take a shower. I mean, I like fast food a lot. Actually, I try to not eat a lot of it. But I would like to say that if I sat down with anybody, I could do some really disgusting damage to fast food. I could eat probably 10 tacos at Taco Bell. I could eat 3 Big Macs at McDonald's and I wouldn't have a problem at all.
I've never had a filet of fish.
Oh, they're so good.
Is there a slice of cheese on top?
Yeah. 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 They're so good. Oh my God, they're so good.
Let's do that someday at the office.
But my all-time favorite fast food is McRib Shamrock Shake, during March. When the McRib's out and they have the Shamrock Shake and large fry.
So the McRib seasonality is the same as the Shamrock?
I'm not sure, but when they fall together, it's it's the best thing in the world.
I've also never had a McRib.
Oh, they're so good.
All right.
Anyway.
So we have a special guest here today because I guess we're pregnant with another baby boy in the Pulltab Sports family of podcasts.
Yeah, we sure are.
And we're going to be spending a little time with Mr. Bobby Finn, who will be on a new podcast called, what is it? Bobby Finn Knows Everyone.
Well, that's what he's leaning toward. It's going to be his podcast, but we've been workshopping a couple different ideas, so that might be a secret, but you can ask him.
Well, let's get into it. Hello, Bobby.
Hello, Kinger. Hello, Garrity.
Hello, Bobby.
What can tell us a little bit about Bobby Finn? How did you get here? What's your life story?
Well, a long life story, but let me regress to what you just said. But have you ever seen the movie Waiting?
Yes.
No.
Don't ever send anything back.
You've never seen the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds? About the people working at the restaurant, like a knockoff of like TGI Fridays?
Oh, and then they did something when people sent the food back.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bobby.
Do not ever send it back. Just get out.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Kinger, from St. Paul, grew up 15 years old, mom and dad, kind of weird, but all my buddies and parents and everybody kind of took me under their wing and brought me along through everything. Grew up Payne Avenue, Highway 61, south part of 61. And I don't know, knew a lot of people, but figured out how to adapt to life through all the tribulations and all the bullshit that happened in my life.
So just to be clear, your parents had you at 15. You were not born at 15 years old.
You're not leap year.
I feel like I'm my mother's older brother, but no, you are right. My parents were 15 years old.
We got to unpack this a little bit.
Yeah, we do. Because actually, I don't want to spoiler alert, but Bobby will fill you in that his mother actually lives with him.
I'm aware of this because at one point we were on the golf course.
Great lady.
And I wanted to chew.
Yeah, because I didn't have
and
any.
He called his mother and she delivered Copenhagen to the course, which is, I think, when you know that you have a special relationship with your mother. But tell us a story about your folks. How they had kids so young. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my mom grew up oldest of 6 siblings. Grew up on the very south part of 61, Highway 61. Dad grew up second youngest of 8, both Irish families, and trying to figure it out. I guess one Catholic, both Catholic families, but one my grandpa left my dad's mom real early, so my grandma raised all the siblings and grandkids by herself. My mom's dad, one of the greatest people I've ever met, lost his leg screwing around on a tractor on Highway 61 when he was 18 years old. Broke his neck jumping out of a tree. Still had a great sense of humor.
How do you... So when you're screwing around in a tractor on Highway 61, how do you mow over your own leg? Or you tip the tractor and get pinned under it?
He was drunk with a bunch of friends coming back from the bar.
On a tractor?
Well, no, they were redoing Highway 61. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, okay.
So he jumped on the tractor, kind of screwing around. It got a hold of his pant leg and ground his whole leg up.
And of course, my vision of this is my own John Deere riding mower, but he's on a real tractor.
Real tractor, ground his whole leg up.
And it was a tractor that was part of the construction?
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow. So he wasn't riding a tractor.
So they were at the bar having some fun, came down, little shenanigans, kind of turned the wrong way.
Right.
That's that's an awful walk home.
Awful, which he turned into a horrible joke for me. Because at our gas station on 61 in Carver, we had a guard dog stand behind, or a guard dog cage behind our gas station. Doberman Pinscher, the meanest dog you've ever seen in your life. He told me the dog ate his leg. So he had scars on his stump of his leg. I was scared out of my mind my whole childhood.
Let's talk about the negative space of the leg. Did he have like a little stick, like a broom handle on it, or
No,
what?
he just had
It wasn't
full.
a pirate.
Why?
What the hell?
Did he have like a Luke Skywalker metal calf or?
No, it was a big, thick leg. Looked like his other leg, but he had phantom itches at the bottom of his toes for sure.
John has a lot of phantom itches where his penis should be.
And did he walk in crutches or a cane
No, just walked.
with one leg?
330 pounds, 6'2",
How did he walk? He hopped?
hopped. Well, without his prosthetic, he hopped.
Oh, he had a prosthetic. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you when did you find out that the dog didn't need his leg?
Probably when I was 15.
That's
It was a Christmas gift. Hey, Bobby, come over here. I want to tell you something.
He gave me a doll for Christmas. And
A
that was-
doll?
Yeah.
What kind of a doll?
Just a doll with like a hula doll. And
Both legs or one?
I threw it at his stump and actually hit him in a nerve and didn't go over so well.
Well, he was ahead of his time, though, giving you a doll. That's kind of a...
Why did he give you the doll?
Just a dick. Just a dick move to make me pissed off.
Stacy used to have a grandfather that he had this sense of humor, kind of like it sounds like your grandfather were. One of his favorite things to do was mess with little kids. And so you'd be at Christmas and a little kid there'd be like a little duck stuffed animal. And the little kid would say, duck. And the grandpa, in a room with like nobody in there, he would go, no, that's a dog. And the little kid would be like, duck, because he only knows like 12 things, and one of the things he knows is that that's duck.
Yeah.
And he would just sit there and go, no, that's a dog. And then that kid would walk out upset, going to his parents, and he would just sit there and chuckle to himself.
This is Stacy's
Yeah,
grandfather?
he's not alive anymore, but yeah, Grandpa Mel. Okay, this is a strong start. So you got a bullying, one-legged, lying grandfather. That's gonna okay.
That you love. And a good guy. So
Greatest.
we're not
The
making fun
greatest.
of him.
No,
Kinda.
the greatest. It's
Yep.
the best.
Yeah, but an interesting character.
Oh my
Another
gosh.
reason to listen to the
Unbelievable.
podcast.
Exactly. This is just This is just his family. This isn't even about his life.
We're like we're just at the tip of the family tree.
Just starting.
Wow. Okay. And then how do your parents meet each other and fall in love and become parents at 15? What's that story?
I think they were both in junior high, and then they got to high school kind of hooked up and accidentally came up with something. And from there, it's
A lot of people accidentally come up with something.
a lot of East Side, Payne Avenue, hard times, understanding right and wrong from everything you see and trying to figure out what path you want to take. So it's, I think there's a lot of people that grew up in St. Paul that understand exactly what I'm saying. But I think there's a lot of people throughout everywhere. But everything makes you who you are and understand where you are going to be going in your future. So
the East Side is such a fascination to me. It just seems unlike any other place in Minnesota for sure. So what kind of values, like my East Side knowledge is basically places, your Russo's and different bars and, but I don't really know about the value system or the code or kind of what makes an East Sider an East Sider. What is it about those values that are so unique?
I think it's always, no matter who gets into what, you're always backing them up. No matter what family it is, everybody's always trying to help somebody become a positive influence on society. They're always trying to help them out regardless of what kind of a shithead or good person you've always been. They're always parents looking out to help each other, help their kids, help anyone around them. So that's kind of an unwritten rule it's the reason I'm where I am right now. My parents, my mom especially, has been fantastic my whole life. She's crazy.
What's your mom's name?
Kathy.
Tell us a little bit about Kathy.
She's 15. She worked at a bank for 35 years, something like that, but lived with me. Great for my kids. She's the oldest of 5, could be 6. Her oldest brother, or the oldest brother in the family, passed away by getting ran over a gas truck at our gas station on 61. So it's
you might want to steer clear of Highway 61.
It's it's
Jesus,
not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy. But
Yeah.
my mom, she's pretty cool, but it's challenging, but she's a good person.
Where does she live in the house?
Basement.
She got her own like pad down there.
Yeah.
What's her room look like?
Shit show.
Posters, sports guys on it.
Does she have a
Just all your trophies and
David Hasselhoff on the ceiling.
Well, who doesn't, by the way?
Does she have any Sports Illustrated like posters with the white border?
She does not have that. No.
What is that? Remember the old SI posters where it would be like, so it would just be a photo and then a white border, and then in type on the top it would say the athlete's name.
Oh, really?
It was pretty iconic. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be like Walter Payton, and it'd be running.
Caitlyn
and then
Jenner.
it had a white border. Bruce
Well,
Jenner.
that would be Bruce back then.
So your mom lives with you in the basement, and she interacts with the kids. Like, what are some of the kids' favorite things to do with mom?
Not sure favorite things, but she's their taxi more or less. But my daughter and her are pretty tight, but she just helps out whatever she can, and she just enjoys kind of later in life stuff.
Yeah, she's awesome. I've met her a few times. Really super cool. I mean, she's still relatively young. You know what I mean? She's
60. She'll be 65 here in probably a month.
yeah.
Oh, she is? Yeah, I guess that would make sense. So go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, so as you look at, so part of this conversation today is, you and I have gotten to know each other over the last year plus, subsequently then Kinger, and we are doing this Pulltab Sports with this, hopefully a bevy of podcasts, predominantly in sports, and we're going to work with you on launching your podcast. Walk us through a little bit of why you want to do it and kind of maybe some of your thoughts as to what you're going to talk about. And I mean, this stuff right now, I mean, obviously is, your family, and I'm sure you'll bring that up as you go, but what are some of the things you think you're going to really try to, enlighten your listeners and your viewers to as you go through this podcast?
Well, I just think it's kind of more common sense stuff, right? I've always been very passionate about sports, and I feel like I analyze everybody's mannerisms and the way they're doing things and their passion and different things, no matter what sport it is. I can see things that I think most people can't. Or,
Give me an example.
well, just how people are working or understanding where to be, when to be, and what kind of teammates I can see what they are. Right?
So like, would you go watch Kinger play in men's league? You probably would have a lot to discuss on your podcast.
We talk about a lot, for sure. Your
Terms
your
like
efforts
lazy,
there, you're understanding
puck
where to
hog.
be, when to be. There's a guy behind you. Dish it back to him. I mean, don't be a dick.
Eyes getting big in the corners.
Would you drive me home after beer league, and then I'd be in the back seat and you'd make me cry?
Well,
That's a great idea.
There's some stories about me driving people home in back seats, and they think they're in the Indy car or something. But yes, I will do whatever I can.
I scored last night.
You did not.
I did.
So what does that mean? When you score, you double down on your tequilas and sodas, right?
I drank more last night than normal, yes.
Did you ride the pony last night after you scored?
No, how about this? Coming around the net, 1-on-4.
The goalie fell down.
Coming around the net 1-on-4. Okay,
Yep.
the defensive
And-
zone coming around the net.
I'm in the offensive zone.
So how is it 1-on-4?
They're all in the zone. There's that's 4-on-4. We play at the Hippodrome. And so
Is that
smaller,
kinda like-
smaller ice sheet.
Is that kind of like when guys go move in? Like when you get up to bat and everyone just starts moving in? Is that kind of what went down?
Oh, like a shift or something?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm
So,
sorry. I'll let you talk.
And I come around the net and I just threw a backhand towards the net, like not a good shot. I'm terrible. And it hit the goalie's stick and then like just went in from like the goal line. Just awesome.
Caught him off guard.
Yeah, caught him off
You
guard.
never knew you were going to throw that puck at the net.
So, Bobby, here's
But
what
that's
happens.
a different podcast.
But what happens is when John scores, usually there's a whole method to his madness for Tuesdays. A couple beforehand sometimes, right?
Sometimes not last night, yeah.
Yeah, and then if he scores, it's a big night. We're talking White Bear Bar, Haggie's Pizza maybe,
2 slices.
some tabs.
Tabs.
Next thing you know, 2 or 3 goes to 5 or 6, gets home, shakes the wife a little bit, wants to see where she's at with stuff, right?
Kentucky Jelly.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know. I can't.
hey, let's get back to you.
Oh, no.
So
Okay.
has anyone in your family ever fallen in a well?
We did have a well, and it was a nursery rhymes well. We had,
Like a plastic one?
no, it was a real well. It was my great grandpa brought nursery rhyme statues back from Anoka back in like 1960. And so we had the wishing well.
Okay.
I did
Okay,
fall in that.
you got to walk through then what that is.
I don't know
'Cause
what a
that-
nursery rhyme well
So we
is.
had everything. We had Santa Claus, like 30-foot tall Santa Claus, snowman, the old woman in the shoe, hickory dickory dock, the whale. We had all kinds of shit.
You know,
It was
you've
on-
seen like you go by places
It
and they've
looked like
got a bunch of
miniature
shit.
golf course.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was just statues. And the guy was going to tear them down in Anoka, like I said, back in like 60.
Why wouldn't you take them? You'd take it.
And where were these stored most of the time?
They were
Just sat
in
out there.
we had 8 acres of land, and and it was our ornaments. That's what they called them.
Were they in front of your home or were they just like you'd be walking
No,
and
they
after
were-
3 acres you'd see the old man in the
In
shoe?
between our gas station, which was Dunn's gas station on the Carver and 61, we had statues, the ornaments, my great grandma and grandpa's house, a huge garage, and then my grandpa's house he built. So they were right in the middle of the houses.
Was that a compound?
kind of a compound? David Koresh wasn't there, but yeah.
Did you have like, it sounds like a compound.
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught there after hours.
How did the well relate to the statues?
Well, the well is the wishing well. Somehow that got stuck in the whole nursery rhyme bit.
Oh, I got it. So
Yeah,
you
so-
had a sculpture of a well that was a nursing
It
rhyme
was,
well.
yeah, it wasn't. It was cement. It was everything about it, but it was only like 2 feet deep.
Who was the person who fell down the well? Remember that? They had a whole international
Baby
story.
Jessica?
Someone fell down a well.
Jessica. I
They
think.
got her. Yeah. So are you confusing that with the Finn family?
And Chilean miners.
Oh, a bunch of them were down there.
Chilean. Thought there was like Singaporean.
No, they were Chilean.
Oh, I like my sea bass that way.
Okay, so so no one in the well. Mom lives with you. Do you think the world today would be better if the East Side values were more prominent in people?
Yeah, because I mean, do the right things, back your people up, and if you don't, probably not gonna be around.
So let me ask you a question. So I'm going to jump into the East Side thing because we've gotten to know a bunch of folks. John's a West Sider.
Be
Like a
be
deep-
good or get beat.
No, John's a West Sider, like a big
Well, I'm going to
West-
listen to your podcast
Yeah.
for sure because I haven't laughed this hard in a while.
West. John's a true blue West Sider, blue blood. When you consider yourself a blue blood,
No, I think you have to be a second or third.
okay.
Like if I was John William King III, I would be a blue blood.
So I got a question for you. So, not being from here, Metro, you both are West Sider, East Sider.
Yep.
If you took all the sides, north, south, east, and west, and had a throwdown,
A rumble?
who would be seated first? Who would be seated fourth? And who would end up the winner, and why?
Well, I'm going to start, and I'm going to say the town I'm from, as much as you wouldn't think, Edina would do very well because we would do terrible we would do all the things you don't think a human would do. Bad stuff. Like if you just think of like hair pulling,
That is pretty bad.
we might not even show up to the Rumble. We might pay someone to fight for us.
Well, if you're a part of it, you're going to be at least 10 minutes late.
17 minutes late. I think do not underestimate the sort of after school special awfulness that Edina could pull off. So we're in the final four of the Rumble in the Metro.
So, because what I'm thinking of is more of an anchorman type thing.
Yeah.
You know? So who would be ranked number one? Your pick. Who would go one? Who would go 1 through 4? Who would be ranked first, and who would be fourth, and who would be the winner?
Cities?
I mean, no, the north, south, east, and west.
Oh, okay. South and north too. So south is 4 for sure, because I don't think like a bunch of Lakeville people rolling into town is going to get the job done, or Egan or whatever the hell they have. So south is in 4. East, I don't think the east is what it used to be.
Ooh.
You know, like the east side when Bobby was a kid. I don't know. I got the east in 3rd, and I go the north wins, and west finished 2nd.
Bobby?
I would say south, yes, last. West, 3rd. North, and then east. Even though the east is not the old east side, the melting pot only goes 5 miles away. So
you bust them in?
Everybody's still right around that area. They just had to get away. Not too far, but they're still there.
Just in case there's a Rumble.
Just in case you get that freaking bell rung. Let's go.
Yeah, I like it.
What do you think of the north though? So I'm going to give you an example. So when I did this goofy Zamboni karaoke thing for a while, the northern kids would come down from high school, and it was like they had a case of Coors Light with them. Like I could have sat. These Duluth East kids would say, before every game we go to the casino, and then we get some food, and it was just like man-child from up north, that kind of. Do you think they'd have any game, the north?
Absolutely. Shit, you run into a George Palawa these days, you never know what you're going to get. But they have passion, they have community pride, but they're not crazy. I mean, East Siders, I'm probably one of the more normal ones, which is very odd. They're crazy.
So you had East 1, and who was your second? Was North? Yeah.
North was number 2.
You were 3rd.
That's a great question.
Which you would buy the protection.
Yeah, we would just
But at that point, the protection is already being used, so.
But we would have
You'd have to go out of state, and that wasn't part of the question.
But we might do like landmines, like bring those back, and everybody would be like, "That's disgusting."
Landmines.
Why did, and just be like, "Well, we didn't want to," or drones. So you guys all get out there with your bats, the East Siders, the Twitch, but then all of a sudden you just get shot by a drone, and we're in like the Galleria, just like controlling it.
That'd be fantastic.
It's like this.
You guys be sitting over at the country club.
Honey, what are you doing? Killing East Siders. Then you push your key, and you go to your car.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'll take that. Do you have a size large? Yeah.
Do you have any speckled coats? God, can you give us maybe one more question like that?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here. I'm just trying to envision that going down.
Do you have a perspective? You've been here long enough. It's not like you drove here from Wisconsin yesterday. What's your finish 1 through 4?
I'd go with the East first, North second, West third, and South last.
Yeah. I love how we're just killing the South. There's probably like a bunch of people in is Le Sueur in the South? They're just like
Mankato.
Yeah, they're just shaking their fist.
Driving up.
No listeners in the South. So if you were to tell someone to listen to your upcoming podcast, what do you think they'll get out of it that maybe they don't have in their lives today? What would be the little?
Oh, I think it's humor. It's perspective. It's realist. It's just being just day-to-day normal, something that you can relate to.
So what, I mean, again, though, so you're going to talk about sports predominantly, which you do have a good handle on. What's your favorite sport? And like, where do you think you have the most, if you were going to have to pick one sport that you would have to focus on, what sport is that?
It's hockey. Hockey's pretty easy for me to see.
Are you going to criticize youth players? Because John and I are down with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Make a list and just go after them on the pod.
I see failure.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to listen for sure.
So you might just name a kid and then 3 weaknesses. That might be a normal.
That could be a good way to end your show.
Yeah, just a nice like segment people come to. But this is, our player this week is, Squirt B, Jimmy Valentine and his 3 weaknesses, and you just kind of break it down.
Or you could go Jimmy Valentine. His team, the 3 weaknesses are mom, dad, and uncle.
Yeah, I like that. We know you
I've
could
wrecked
do
him from everything.
Wrecked him. You
Nearly
almost killed him. But I was going to tell you is what you could do is actually have a surprise call to the kid, get him on the phone, and go, "Hey, Bobby from Bobby Finn knows everyone. Hey, listen, I watched your game this week, and I want to kind of give you a few points."
What were you doing right there?
You do this. Hey, how do you think you played, Jimmy? I think I played good. Okay. What made you think you played good?
You might want to try basketball, Jimmy.
Okay, so hockey. So are you a big Wild fan?
Big Wild fan.
Big Wild fan. Big Gopher fan?
Big Gopher fan.
Okay. All right. So far, so good.
Vikings?
God, it's hard to be a Vikings fan.
Yeah, it's the worst.
My wife is born in New York, so I debated on raising my kids as a Yankee, Ranger, and Giant fan. Granted, the Rangers and Giants haven't been that great, but they did have Gretzky, and they did win 2 Super Bowls. Yankees, pretty fucking easy.
Yeah. So you didn't, though? You went Minnesota?
I didn't.
That's
but
awful.
he still hates it.
Yeah, the Vikings are.
It's so painful.
All right, last in a sentence. So if there's some listener out there going, besides bodies laying all over Highway 61, what would you tell them? Whisper in their ear why they should listen. Give them one last plug.
It's perfect.
I like it.
Perfect.
Well, I got to tell you, like, just even the early stories, he'll expound on those, I would hope. And he hasn't even got into his stories.
As
Because I always like to think, like, friends, like, when I hear the East Side, and you said that people do stuff for people, I look at it more like the friends help people move, great friends help people move bodies.
Stories are incredible.
That's a good tagline. That's something people say.
I say that.
You made that line up?
No, I totally, like everything, I steal everything.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, it's coming soon. Bobby Finn knows everyone.
Make sure you
Part
listen.
of Pulltab Sports. Give it a listen. 8 acres, statues, old man in a shoe, old woman in a shoe,
Old woman.
old woman in a shoe. Coming soon. Thank you.